Here we go. Spoiler alert, audience. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Jason Show Home Edition. I'm Jace on this Thursday, June 25th, 2020. Can you believe it? It is June 25th. It is already the end of June, and it just struck me. I was looking at photos, Facebook, whether you want it to or not, gives you memories from a year ago, 5 years ago, and it showed me where I was a year ago, and it was Twin Cities Pride. And I was like, wow, that was a year ago, and it just seems so different, doesn't it? Well, because there's nothing going on. There's no baseball yet. Allegedly, there's some sort of deal, but there's no Pride. There's no, I don't know. You just kind of lose track of time. So it is Thursday, June 25th. I'm so happy you're here. Grab a cup of coffee. Let's hang out for a little while. Now, if I look a little tired, it is because this week, you may have seen on the news, I'm a little tired because this is the week that Walt Disney World opened up their tickets for their theme parks. Now, I'm going to try to explain this for you non-Disney nerds. So you used to just, before the COVID, you could just, if you had a ticket or if you had an annual pass like I do, you could just go to the park, whatever park you wanted. Especially if you had a park hopper. You could go to Magic Kingdom in Florida, and then you could walk over to Hollywood Studios. Well, now you have to make a reservation for each park. You can only go to one park per day. And you had to go on the computer, go on their website at 6 a.m. on Monday, this past Monday, in order to try to make reservations. Well, as you can imagine, a lot of people are trying to rebook their vacations, even though the parks are going to be at 30% capacity. Here's what the screen looked like for a good, well, I don't know. This is what it looked like for me for a good 2 hours. It was just the castle over and over and over again, telling me that there is a delay and you're just going to have to wait a minute. Well, we ended up waiting about 2.5 hours before the system finally let us in, and I was able to pick some days. We are going in the summer to kind of report back. I'll talk about it here on this show, what it's like there at Disney in the middle of their new safety regulations. But it was a nightmare. I always say every day there's a job that I would never want. Last Monday, the job I would not want, Walt Disney World IT. Yeah, because it was crashed basically all day. So Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Pluto, Goofy, I hope everything's better now. There we go. Okay, everybody, grab the spoon because it is time for the hot dish. Let's get going. First up, we're going to keep with the Disney theme, but Disney Plus, because one of the biggest hits on Broadway ever is heading to Disney Plus for the summer. What am I talking about? Well, look at this.
This is Hamilton.
So good. So good. It comes to Disney Plus very, very soon. Now, originally it was going to come. Let me look at the date here. They moved it up. It's going to hit Disney Plus on July 3rd. So if you have no idea about Hamilton, it has the original cast. The production on Disney Plus does. Lin-Manuel Miranda as Alexander Hamilton, Leslie Odom Jr. as Aaron Burr, and Jonathan Groff as King George. And again, it was supposed to hit theaters in 2021, but Disney moved it up because of the pandemic. So like I said, it's going to hit Disney Plus on July 3rd. And I'm sure Mickey and everyone at Disney's really happy about this because I forgot what the total was, but they spent a lot of money, and I mean a lot of money, for the rights to Hamilton, and it makes sense. Lin-Manuel Miranda has a great relationship with Bob Iger, has a great relationship with Disney. He actually, in the publicity for Hamilton, he let it slip, I believe, on the Good Mornings of the Americas that he's writing some more original music for a yet to be determined Disney animated movie. So I don't know. He did the music. He helped with the music for Moana, and I love the music there. So anyway, look for. Here's another reason to get Disney Plus. Look for Hamilton, July 3rd on Disney Plus. Okay, let's next in the hot dish. Let's move to music, from movies to music. If you were around in the 90s, chances are you watched this. What is this? Well, this is Nirvana's 1993 MTV Unplugged special. The special aired just 5 months before Kurt Cobain's death. Over the weekend, the guitar Kurt played right there in that special hit the auction block and fetched a new record. Would y'all like to guess how much? Well, the winning bid was $6 million. The man who won the guitar plans to take it on a worldwide tour, with all the proceeds benefiting the performing arts. Another item from that special has also fetched big bucks. Last fall, the unwashed cigarette-burned cardigan that Kurt wore sold for $334,000. Yeah. Now, there's the story of the guitar or some item from Kurt was given to an ex or something, or in the divorce settlement, Courtney's divorce settlement, her ex got Kurt's stuff instead of Kurt and Courtney's daughter. I just thought, how tacky of that dude to get something of her father's in this divorce settlement and not give it back to Courtney and Kurt's daughter. I just think that's so tacky. Give her father's stuff back to her, or at the very least, sell it to her for a good amount of money, or for a fair amount of money. I don't know. I just thought that was really, really tacky. So I have a feeling that is going to go for a lot of money. Okay, let's move to love now for our final item in the hot dish. Kate Beckinsale isn't wasting any time getting over Pete Davidson. Nope, nope, nope. Who's she hooking up with? Well, look at this. She's moved on, and she's publicly professing her love to this dude on his birthday. Kate is now dating musician Goody Grace. That actually sounds like a show on Fox. Now, Goody just turned 23, and Kate is 46. But I'm not going to throw rocks on this show about age differences, because she likes to date younger men. But who cares? In a recent interview with Women's Health, she defended her interest in younger guys, saying she likes to be goofy and go out. And some people think that's risque, which she says ridiculous. And Kate, I'm with you. Ridiculous. Who cares? If you're having fun, he's having fun. It doesn't matter. I love her. I've always loved her. And again, we shan't be throwing rocks in this glass house. Yeah. We're going to take a break, everyone. Stay right there. Much more after this. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. Look who's here. It's Kendall with some more hot dish, and we're going to actually start with the best thing ever. But first, let me be polite. How are you?
I'm great, Jason. The sun is shining and I feel good. How are you?
Well, we should say the sun is shining as we tape this. We have no idea what the weather's going to be like in the future when you all actually see this on what would it be? Thursday? Yeah, Thursday. So I think it's supposed to be nice, though. So I think we're safe. But anyway.
Hopefully.
Okay. So can I give you and everyone watching a new best thing ever?
Yes.
That's what we're going to start with. We'll get to some more hot dish in just a second. But, we're all looking for snacks. You were talking about, I didn't bring this up, but you were talking about how, we're trying to do the quarantine diet.
Yes.
We're trying to look for healthy snacks. I got to tell you, my new favorite snack is the Costco Kirkland brand of turkey jerky.
I was not anticipating that.
Have you ever, do you like any type of jerky? Okay, that's a hard pass. I'll mark you down as a no on that one, but let me get a pen and paper. Okay, if you like jerky, all of you watching, this turkey jerky, I got it at Costco, which, by the way, I got into a little bit of a snit with a woman waiting in line with me. Whatever. I tweeted about it. You can see it. Anyway. So after I did that, I got, for the first time, I'm like, you know what? I'm looking for a good snack that doesn't have a lot of carbs. And I picked up the turkey jerky. I like regular beef jerky. We'll never go back to beef jerky again. Never, Kendall. That's how good this is.
Huh. Okay. Is it like extra salty, extra chewy?
Oh, well, actually, it's the seasoning. And
Okay.
you know, sometimes you get the beef jerky and it's like,
Yeah.
and it feels like your whole mouth is going to come out with you, with the
Yeah.
jerky. No, there is something texturally with the turkey jerky from Costco that is so much better. I don't know what it is. It's the flavor profile that's amazing, and the texture. It's so good. I have 2 bags. They want you to refrigerate it after you open. I just had some right before I came on. So it is my best thing ever, new quarantine snack. Thank you, Costco.
Thank you, Costco.
And may I say, never go to Costco on a Friday afternoon when it's sunny, because the entire Twin Cities is there. They're all there. Everybody. And nobody's in a good mood at the busy Costco on Friday afternoon. Let's just be clear about that too.
No, they're not. I hate that place.
No. Okay, let's move. Speaking of food, let's move to some more hot dish with special guest star Kendall. First, let's talk about something a little juicy, because the turkey jerky is juicy. For all of you that watch The Real Housewives of New York, and all of you that watch Queer Eye on Netflix, you'll really love this story. And even if you don't watch those 2 shows, this is really juicy. So Bobby is the designer on Queer Eye, as you guys may or may not know. He just recently dished, Kendall, that a Real Housewife of New York totally played him. Now, he's saying years ago, now let me get the quote. Let me get my quote here, because I want to get this right, girl. I want to get he said that he was approached by a Real Housewife several years ago. And the housewife was like, he said, he was being interviewed. He goes, celebs can be a pain in the earth sometimes. A lot of times there can be some expectation for free stuff, which I never get, because when you're a celebrity and you have a bazillion dollars. Anyway, there's a whole other thing. He said, I had a New York housewife come to my store years ago in New York, and she was like, oh, I'm buying this new house. Well, it turns out that she wasn't buying it. She even said she was buying it on the house. And she's like, well, if you do this, come in and design it all, I'll put you on the show. Well, Bobby thought about it for a while because he wasn't on TV yet. Well, he had a meeting with her and he goes, I'm just starting off. I'm paraphrasing here. I can't really do this for free. Her husband then called him and basically tried to, I hate the word bullying, tried to push him. You should really do this for free. He said that to Bobby. The housewife's husband said, you really should do this free for my wife. What? And he ended up I think, doing something for her, and she never paid. Never.
And that was the end of that.
That was the end of that. And a lot of people are speculating that it was Aviva, allegedly Aviva, who was on seasons 5 and 6. She was the one that was memorable because in the season finale of season 6, she threw her prosthetic leg across the room at a cocktail party.
She has a prosthetic leg that she threw across a room at a cocktail party?
What's a party if you're, if the woman's not throwing her prosthetic leg? I mean, that's, but she threw it across the room. It was, as Chris Harrison would say, the most shocking party in Housewives history. Yeah.
Bigger than the table flip, I guess.
Oh, really good. Yeah. Okay. I have one more thing. You love Friends, don't you?
Yeah.
Okay, I need you all to go. I believe this was done on Variety. Jennifer Aniston and Lisa Kudrow kind of did what we're doing. They did a Zoom-esque Insta story chat.
They did a Madonna?
They did, and Kendall, it was so cute. Everyone, it was so adorable because they were talking about catching reruns of Friends, which it's so cool to think about the stars watching their own show. Right. And Jennifer... This was a fun fact, and now when I'm watching the show, I think about this. She revealed in this chat with Lisa, she said, I don't watch it necessarily. Sometimes I think to myself, she said, God, we're really good. she watches it and she can remember when they lost it on the set, when they started busting off laughing. So when she's watching a scene, she goes, oh, right about now is when we lost it. So it was.
Oh gosh, cute.
Yeah. Don't you love that they still watch the show sometimes?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's probably far enough away that they can do that, because people, I'm sure they ask you all the time. People often ask me, do you like watching yourself on TV? And I'm like, no, it's weird. It's like looking at photos of yourself. So it's funny that they like can still do that, but maybe because it's so long ago. I don't know.
Maybe. Okay, stay right there. Kendall's sticking around. We got the boys joining us in just a little bit. Back in a moment. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. Time for some non-negative news. And in today's edition, we're going to talk about something that I am binging. And that is, now wait for it, seasons 5 and 6 of The Real Housewives of New York. Now, wait a minute. Now, I don't want to lose you. I, as you know, have been a big fan of the Real Housewives franchise for years. But I must admit, New York's season 5 and 6, I haven't always loved. These seasons follow that mass firing of Jill Zarin, Alex McCord, Kelly Kalora, and Ben Simone. And they brought in 3 new housewives for season 5. And then most of them stayed for season 6. Well, this season, these seasons were very low rated. There's Heather. There's one of the new housewives. And Carol Radzwell. These seasons got ripped in the press. They had horrible ratings for Bravo. Social media posts declined. It was just not very popular. People missed Jill Zarin. They didn't really love the new housewives. But I got to tell you, we should really call this segment Upon Second Look. After rewatching these seasons 5 and 6, I have come to love them. They have just as much drama, if not more, than other seasons of New York. I would actually say season 5, you're actually looking at the trailer for season 6 with Kristen, the new housewife, who I don't really like her. But I would actually argue season 5 of New York is one of the better seasons. I mean, you have the introduction of Aviva, Ramona's fascination with her leg. You have Ramona and Sonia, right there, acting just nutter butters. It is probably, I've finished 5. I'm on 6 now. It really is one of my favorite seasons, and I have watched them all. New York and Beverly Hills are my 2 staples. I used to watch Atlanta a lot, and I used to watch New Jersey, but those 2 I fell off of. But New York's always been my baby. And again, I avoided these. They aired like 2013, 14, 15. I avoided them. But looking back, they're really good. Carol was really good at the time. Heather Thompson, she's the creator of Yummy Tummy or Tummy Yummy or whatever, the shapewear. Both of them are great in these seasons. So if you need a good, like, guilty pleasure to binge, and you are or you have been a fan of the Real Housewives franchise, give this a go one more time. You can find them on Hulu, actually. Just search for The Real Housewives of New York. And again, seasons 5 and 6. Give it a second look. I did, and I was very, very, very surprised at how I felt. And then season 7 is when Bethany returns, and well, that's just a great season. So there we go. Hey, before we go real quick, I just want to say thanks again to all of you that have donated to the radio show's campaign, our neighborhood rebuilding fund. Speaking of good news and non-negative news, it's really warmed my heart. So thank you so much, everyone. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with more show after this. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. He's a good friend of ours, and we've gotten to know him over the years. And he is the owner of one of the most successful restaurants to come out of the Twin Cities in the last few years. And it all started in 2016 with a conversation about what type of restaurant he would like to open. Please welcome back to the show our good friend from Soul Bowl. It's Gerard. Hi, Gerard.
How you doing?
I'm doing well, my friend. And, through the pandemic, through George Floyd, I've asked friends that have come back on the show that we haven't seen in a while, just the basic question of how you doing? So I'll start with that. How you doing?
It has been a whirlwind for us recently. These last 2 weeks have been great weeks. And we have just been taking it day by day, to be honest. Everything is changing so quickly. We had some tough days, but it's been exciting to just see community come together. It's been exciting to see just our team come and get closer during this time. But we've been taking it day by day and keeping the attitude that we're here to continue to serve our community. So.
Yeah, I was talking to a couple restaurant owners, not only on this broadcast, but on the radio show as well, and talking just about one thing, kind of the old cliche of when it rains, it pours. I mean, and I'm obviously focusing on the restaurant industry. Your industry was already dealing with the effects of the closures because of COVID-19. And then we had the killing of George Floyd. And then we had, the disruption in service because, some restaurants were reopening, and just the soul crushing that happened after George Floyd. How are you remaining positive, through some probably one of the toughest years any business owner could go through, and just a human?
Yeah, it is. It has really challenged us, I think, in every area of our business, and then also personally, because I have a Black staff, to be transparent, and everybody can see themselves in George Floyd, and that's an area of the city that I frequent, that I know, that I've hung out, and so it is difficult. And I'm a parent as well, raising a little Black boy, and so it's really challenged me. We've definitely had to lean on our faith as owners to be able to try to show the excellence and be hope for our community. Soul food traditionally has always been something that can comfort people in really difficult times. And that's something that I was able to experience before I was in the restaurant business. And so we really wanted to make sure that we were able to provide comfort, even if just for a 10-minute meal, to be able to feed the people in our community doing the social justice work, people who are protesting. Everybody has different tools, and our tools were food. And so we wanted to jump in to be able to use those tools to kind of serve our team. So it has been difficult, but I do feel that there's a purpose. And that's what I think I've been going back to, that, my purpose is kind of showing that it's more than just being a restaurant owner or making, money during this time, that it's to serve.
Yeah.
And, whether or not the situation changed, we want to put ourselves in position to serve our community. And as everything was closing around us, we're across the freeway from North Minneapolis. The grocery stores are closing. This community that supports us did not have access to the basic necessities. And so we wanted to make sure that we were something that we could control, our business, and to be able to stay open to service them so that they did have meals. So
you mentioned your team, Gerard. How are they? I asked how you were doing. How is your staff doing right now?
There were scary days just with with what was going on with protests, and just the curfews being out, and wanting to make sure that they could get home safely. We have some staff who uses public transportation, and a lot of things had affected that. And so it really, I think, pulled us in closer. We had a lot of family that grew, that they were more tight knit. We had some staff, everybody was getting a ride home. We all came in and left together. And so we really wanted to make sure that we took care of them and that they had a positive attitude. And even, we had some staff that wanted to protest, and being able to let them know, you're free to voice your opinion, and we're not going to hold you up from going out and, being able to, have your right to voice your opinion. And so we wanted to give them that opportunity as well. And so they've been encouraged. We had some very, very slow days. We cut down probably to about 30% in the heart of what was going on, and have been able to kind of build back up to our full capacity, and then about another 4 or 5 on top of that. So they're doing better. We really have to put those parameters just with our staff and interactions with guests to make sure that we're ready for that, and we can handle, some of the confrontation or just customers who may not, be showing grace these days. But we've been ready for it, and I think that strong face has kind of shown through with all of them.
I know we have about a minute left. I want to end on just shining a light on the business because for people who don't know, you guys have seen Gerard on the show before. Soul Bowl is at the Gray's Food Hall right down. I'm literally, what's funny about this is I'm about 2 blocks from Gerard right now. I live right. But anyway, you guys are open, right, Gerard? When are you open? How can people find you now?
Yeah, Gray's Food Hall is back open. It's been super exciting to get everybody back on the patio and in the green space. The weather was nice this weekend. So the bar is open. All the concepts are open. We have a brand new concept, more omnivore, that'll be opening in the next few weeks. And so we're open 7 days a week, open from 11 till 8, and the bar is open a little bit later. So we're excited to get people back in. We have our COVID measures in place. And just looking to love on the customers we haven't seen in a while. We've seen some new faces as well. And just excited to be able to start that hospitality experience again. So it's been a little while, and been really excited to see our regulars come back and check in on them as well.
Absolutely. Well, it's great to see you again. I'm glad you're well. Give my best to your staff, and I'll see you real soon, my friend. Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Go see Gerard, everybody, at the Gray's Food Hall in the North Loop of Minneapolis. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. He is a member of our family. Please welcome back to the show our good friend, Christopher Straub. Good morning, Christopher.
Hey, good morning. How are you?
Well, doing well. This is what we call catch up with our Jason Show friends. Right. And all of you watching right now, you're witnessing history. Christopher Straub tried to go the entire quarantine without Zooming. But sadly, we broke that streak. You're Zooming, Christopher Straub.
Right now, this is officially my first Zoom.
How does it feel?
I'm a little nervous. I'm kind of shaky.
No, it looks good
here.
Everyone's been loving this, admiring everyone's houses. So you see reporters and correspondents reporting from home, and people's favorite part of that is admiring the space. Where are we looking at right now, Christopher? Is this your great room, or what is this room here?
This is my aviary. No, this is my living room, and lots of plants in here, and I custom made this piece.
Of course you did.
On the wall, and then I did matching pillows, and too much work. I got too much time on my hands.
Yeah. Do you know? Speaking of plants, we had Dale Kay on. Millennials love the plants. Millennials and Gen Yers are all about house plants.
We've been buying more plants too. This is so weird. It's funny that you say it. We have more plants now in our house than we ever have. I think it is just I need to surround myself with green and a sense of purpose. And I don't know. But it's funny that you say that.
Yeah. Okay, so this is kind of a check-in on you. So the last time you were on the show during our home edition, you were making, Ronnie wasn't letting you out of the basement because you were doing nothing but making masks. Where does that stand? How is your mask making operation going?
Yeah, no, I had my own little one-man company going for masks and making them for hospitals for donations, making them for individuals for donations, for individuals for their own personal use. And it's interesting how that was such a big thing, and it sort of dwindled off for about 5 days, and then things started opening back up again. So the orders went from 1 and 2 masks to 8 masks because they were putting them in each car, and it was the businesses that were buying them for their employees or businesses that are buying them to sell, like retail shops and stuff. And so it really has not died down since the beginning of all of this.
They're so good, though, and they're just amazing. So go to Christopher's Instagram to see them. Okay, please next we're going through. Okay, so next you've been making masks, and you're basically running a duck farm at your house.
Yeah, we the spring here at the Cooper Straub farm really becomes active. We have lots of little duckling hatchlings, and so check me out on Instagram at Schmistifer because you're going to see all the little ducks. You can hear them hatching or peeping before they hatch, like in the eggshell. I mean, it's a really fantastic process, and my kids are sort of bored by it at this point, I think, because everyone says, oh, your kids must love this. And like, it's a job for them. But yeah, we breed ducks for local farms and then for our own little flock.
Speaking of the kids, have you had to do what most parents have had to do during the quarantine and play Fantastic Sam's?
No.
You haven't had to cut their hair?
Oh, that. Yes. Okay, that. I see.
Oh, you didn't get my Fantastic Sam's reference.
Is that an app I've never heard of? No, I know. I cut everyone's hair, including myself. Yeah.
Really? You cut your own?
This is I cut this. Ronnie helped a little bit in the back, but I clippered all of it, and then I cut all the. I'm not saying it's a winning haircut, and no one should pay me for a haircut, but it did the job.
What are you doing at Rosedale?
Oh, so this is cool. So Roseville is having they invited 20 artists to decorate 20 giant rose statues, kind of like the Snoopy ones that we all remember from a few years back. So all of us artists came together. We all painted our roses. It was really cool because we were kind of bonding. We did it at the state fairgrounds. And they're going to actually right now, while we're talking, they're being placed around Roseville. And my rose is going to be on display at Rosedale Center.
Well, looky there.
Look, so we're really family.
We are family. That's right. That's great. Okay, is there can you give us a preview? Like, what's the theme of the rose?
Yes. So they really wanted me to do like kind of the fashion thing that I'm kind of known for. So what I did is kind of a rose-inspired fashion collection. And so all the petals have like a rose-inspired fashion sketch on them. And so you'll see little sketches going around the rose, around the stem and leaf, and then the base as well. So it's all like hand illustrated and painted, and it's really fun. I can't wait to see it because when we did it, like it wasn't sealed all the way. They put this glossy coat. It'll feel very real to me when I see it all shiny and displayed. I think it's going to be outside of Sequest.
Well, speaking of exposure, you're all over the place again this season because quickly one of your shirts or jackets appeared on RuPaul. Tell everyone about that.
Yeah, so Derek Barry is we're fans of each other, and he wore one of my designs in his like interview looks, and it's a hand drawn little Britney print, and then I had that made on fabric and created this hoodie, and it's been getting a lot of Reddit I don't know Reddit. So
I don't either.
And so it's getting a lot of attention. And so, yeah, of course I had to make a little consumer friendly product. So that's on my site, all of these different hoodies and t-shirts and pins. And,
Well, thanks I feel like we're all caught up now. So you've done your Zoom. We've talked about the ducks and haircuts and roses and Derek Barry. The great Christopher Straub. Don't forget to follow him. What's your address?
At Schmistofer on Instagram.
There we go. We're going to take a break, everyone. More show right after this. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. As promised, we are now joined by the boys. Welcome Jeff and Ted to the show. Hi, guys.
Hello.
And hello to Kendall once again. So, Jeff and Ted, we're going to bring you in on a conversation that we had earlier on the show. I have a new best thing ever that I wonder, Ted, you're a picky eater. We know that. But Jeff, I wonder if you've had this. I have a new favorite quarantine snack food.
Ooh,
the Kirkland Costco brand turkey jerky.
Ooh, I've had it before.
Have you had it, Jeff?
It's the best turkey jerky on the market.
Thank you. I thought you might. I thought you might be with me, Jeff. It is the texture, isn't it, and the flavor. I don't know what they marinate those birds in, but it is anything but foul. It is real good.
Ooh, you know what else is good? The Kirkland hot dogs. Better than the name brand. If you want to.
Really?
Yeah.
Don't let it be ignored how funny your foul joke was.
Thank you. I appreciate you recognizing my foul joke. Ted's eyebrow went up maybe a millimeter.
I recognized it.
Thank you. Okay, and one more thing. I have to. we all want to laugh for a second. We all need a good laugh. The four of us, well, Kendall wasn't there, but the three of us, Ted, Jeff, and I just saw each other a couple hours before we taped this, and we were saying goodbye to one of our longtime photojournalists who we mentioned last week on the show, and that's Steve Painovich. Hi, Paino, if you're watching in retirement. So we had a little driveway COVID-safe goodbye for him, where Paino walked out of the building and the whole staff. It was really sweet. Everyone was waving and clapping for him. So I pull up a little early. I get out of my car, and Fox 9 investigative reporter Tom Lydon is standing there. And I get out of my car, and I'm wearing basically my pajamas and a hat, and I have my mask on. And I lean up against the car, like staying away from everybody. And Tom turns around and he goes, "Who are you? And what are you doing here?" And I go, "It's Jason." He goes, "Who?" And he was serious. He wanted to throw me. I mean, he was like guarding the Fox 9 parking lot. He's like, "Who are you?" And I went, "Lydon, it's Jason." And the photographer, we died laughing. It was like, wow, I'm just wearing a hat.
Remember that show at 10 a.m. that I kind of host?
The logo is still in the lobby, y'all. The logo is still in the lobby. Anyway, okay. So today, other than just kind of shooting the breeze, Jeff has a game for us. What are we doing, Jeff?
We're going to play most likely to ... So I have a series of questions, and we're going to point out which of the four of us it best applies to. Got it?
Okay. But we're not going to point. But we're not going to point because we can't do the Brady Bunch thing. It'll be a disaster.
No, we don't want a Zoom disaster. So we're just going to say the name, okay?
Okay.
First one, most likely to zone out when talking to you. Jason?
That would be me.
That's not a dig, but you have been known to be like, yep, yep, on your phone. Once in a while, we all do that.
I do. I learned from the best. # former producer Carl Yeager. That's who I learned it from. Yes.
Sorry, I agree.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Most likely to forget where they parked the car.
Kendall.
Probably me.
I'm going to say Kendall.
Yeah.
Have you ever done that? Kendall, have you ever forgotten where you parked, like in a mall or a ramp?
Jason, I'm the one who loses I leave my phone on top of the car, my wallet on top of the car. It was found on Highway 100 just a few weeks ago. I lose things all the time.
You left your wallet on top of your car?
Yeah, Thanksgiving. I was at the Lifetime Fitness run thing covering it, and I was like, oh. And Photog Gerg had to pay for my parking because it was gone for like months. Someone dropped it off in April.
Can I reveal that I was at IKEA last Saturday? Which that's another story. Oh my!
Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing?
On a Saturday.
I love IKEA, but I got out. You can't go out the top level anymore. So you have to go out the bottom level, and I got lost. I couldn't find my car, but I did find it eventually. Anyway.
Oh, no.
Next one. Most likely to go on a blind date.
Ted.
I've gone on like a million of them.
What was the most recent one?
Yeah, what was your most recent?
Well, it would have had to have been pre-COVID, right?
Well, I don't know. You tell us.
Right.
I think legally speaking, we have to say that.
Okay, legally speaking, yeah.
And I mean, blind-ish. They're blind-ish. I don't know if I've ever gone like totally blind into it. I've seen some kind of a picture.
By the way,
do that nowadays. I mean,
by the way, Ted, what is frozen on your television today? Speaking of blind dates, there are people embracing.
That is Sean Lowe from The Bachelor. This is The Bachelor, the greatest of all time episodes, which they are just screwing this thing up. They're not doing a fast forward season. They're just kind of individually highlighting each person within the 3 hours. Not how I would have done it.
No. Oh. Okay, next
Monday
question.
Next one. This is a good one. Most likely to have weird phobias.
Jeff.
Ooh.
Oh, for sure.
Ted.
What? For sure. What?
For sure.
Ooh.
Okay. Now it's very legit because of COVID, but pre-COVID, when you wouldn't let anyone touch anything certain ways, or like you have to wipe down the desk the way you want to wipe it down.
Oh, you know what? You are. I have to close the drawer a very certain way on your desk when I steal gum from you. Yeah.
My headphone cord is in the way, and you always close it on.
Okay, I take that back. Ted's just a picky eater, but I'm going to agree with Kendall now. I'm going to say you.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Well, you don't like you didn't like human contact before the COVID.
Okay, I'm single enough as it is. Let's not get too. No, did you know that Tyra Banks used to be afraid of dolphins? Like she would see a dolphin and start like crying and screaming.
Wow.
That's a weird phobia.
Okay, that is.
Next. Most likely to win a karaoke contest.
Jeff.
Oh. Yeah.
Were you there for hot
Jeff. Yeah, Jeff.
I've seen the video.
Yeah. Jeff, what song? Refresh the memory. What song do you do?
Buster Poindexter, Hot, Hot, Hot. Party going. I was on vacation in Mexico and I won a karaoke contest using that song.
There you go.
Okay.
Next. Most likely to get straight A's in high school.
Well, not me.
Probably Kendall or
Kendall.
Me or Jeff? I did. I got straight A's.
Were you smart, Ted?
Yes, but I tried when I had to. So that included a couple of B's. I'd say Jeff because he was a captain of the football team, band director.
He restocked the candy in the machine.
Yearbook club.
Knowledge Bowl Ted. He was the leader of Knowledge Bowl.
And he had the flap. Oh no, you didn't have the flap on.
He didn't. Jacket. No.
The girls had the flap. Okay.
Yeah.
This is a good one. Ready? Most likely to hold a grudge for years.
Jason.
Oh, Jason. I'd say Jason.
Remember the Fab Five or whatever?
The what?
Did you have to kick out a friend or something?
Oh.
You don't need to go into that.
Oh, you mean the high school 5 that's now the high school 4? Yeah, someone's been removed. Yes.
Offline conversation or?
Yeah, I will. Okay, we all of us have things we don't like about ourselves. I will say I can hold a grudge or I can hold a grudge. If you,
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we have time for one. We have like 30 seconds.
Okay, really quick. Oh, God. Most likely to lock themselves out of the house.
Kendall.
Sorry.
Well, that was
you
easy.
Left your keys on Highway 100.
Yeah.
Thank you for giving us one that perfectly timed us out. Kendall, thanks. Thanks, everybody. We're going to take a break. We'll be back right after this. And welcome back to the Jason Show Home Edition. Guess what were the #1 movies last weekend? Before we go, I just thought this was fun. The #1 movies at the box office. Now, keep in mind, there are basically 7 movie theaters open across the country. But be that as may, Murphy. Be that as may. The #1 movies in the country were Jurassic Park and Jaws, both re-released. I told you about Jurassic Park. This year is its 27th anniversary, and both of those films have been released back into theaters for the summer, which is perfect because both of them made movie history in the summer. Jaws is historically known as the first summer blockbuster. Before Jaws, there really wasn't such a thing as a big summer movie. It really created that phenomenon. People in the 70s, when it was released, waited hours around the block. You saw that phenomenon repeated in 1977 with Star Wars, the original. But it was all because of Jaws. That was obviously Steven Spielberg. And then fast forward to 1993, Jurassic Park from Steven Spielberg changed movies in a different way with their special effects. We talked about this a few weeks ago. So both of them, both from Steven Spielberg, both making history. Congratulations to the T-Rex and to Bruce the Shark on being #1 again. That's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks to all of our guests. And don't forget, you can always follow us on social media, Jason Show TV, on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. And follow my personal account. Just search for Jason Matheson. Have a great day. Go out there and be yourself, because nobody can tell you you're doing it wrong.